Got it.
Alright.
Yay. Looks like we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome everybody to our next call of Let's Talk About Bodies with none other than Harpreet Pasricha and wonderful Palak Khanna.
Hello, hello, hello.
Harpreet is from Delhi. He's a wonderful CF who's been using the tools of access for a whole lot of number of years. Hari, how many years now?
It's the 10th year now.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Yeah,
Totally.
totally. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
Started your teenage.
yeah, he's turning into a teenager very soon.
Totally. Every now and then. Shifting and changing my bodies.
How amazing is that? Yes. And I would love to actually ask you. I mean, with these calls, we don't know where we are starting from, where we are going. But I really would like to ask you about, the change and the transformation in your body before and after access, and what I mean, did choice play a role there?
I had a lot of allergies every now and then and very susceptible to environmental things and fall ill quite often. And there was a process during that time regarding the environmental sensitivity. And I had been using it for a pretty long time, got over my allergies, got over my every now and then situation of falling ill. And now I listen to my body. Okay, should I go there? Should I not go there? Should I go to an event or not? Should I meet this person or not? Are you being comfortable or not? So that has helped me to bypass certain diseases and allergies, which would affect and create disease for the body.
Hmm. Wow. So besides the environmental sensitivity tool, did you get your bars also run often?
Yes,
Wow.
I did. That
Hmm.
helped a lot to get over the points of views behind that. And if
Yeah.
I'm picking up on someone else's thought pattern, I would just go for the bar session and environmental session.
Wow. And what about body processes? Did you get body processes run?
Never tell anyone about that thing.
Never, never
Yeah, I
bad.
did. I went. I did go for a lot of access facelift sessions, and even did a lot of access facelift sessions, and did a couple of body processes, which are like there in the manual.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's,
And I'll add on one more thing with the
yeah.
MTBSS process, which is there. When you are supposedly to climb a mountain, it's like you may want to like go slower, be slower, but at the same time you start panting. I use MTBSS at that point also, and it's like the walk on the mountain is breeze.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
ease that comes up with the body process is like so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's so interesting. You talked about MTVSS and, walking up a hill. And you also talked about the facelift and how, that cleared your allergies, where, one would think that facelift would be just for, women above the age of 50. But it's so interesting when, we run facelift on children, like 5-year-old kids, and, a bone that's gotten dislocated, or if they've had some issue with, I mean, I ran the facelift on a child who was barely 5, and she was having an issue with her spine at that age, and the doctors were thinking of taking her for surgery and stuff. And at that time, just by running facelift, changed so much for her spine. I mean, that's
Yeah,
this is,
it it's like it does not for one thing. People have a thing like it's just for the face. Your whole
yeah.
body structure changes immediately at that time.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's truly so amazing. And every time I talk to people about bodies and these body processes, and it's changes so much for me. It's almost like hearing it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, if I want to hear stories, these are the ones I want to hear of magic out there in the world. Truly. Yeah. Palak, how has it
Even
been for you? Yeah, sorry, Harry, go
no,
for it.
no, go ahead. No.
No, please
Okay, I
go
just
ahead.
want to share. I wanted to share, like,
Yeah.
I used to have a lot of big boils on my face.
Hmm.
With access facelift, I've reduced it quite a lot.
Yes, I remember
It's like
the
every
first
now
time.
and then
Yeah,
it'll be like a small
yeah,
pimple or something, but
yeah,
those boils have like vanished from my space.
yeah. Yes. And having seen you back then and having seen and seeing you now, it's like, you know, the change is not just facially, the change is not just visible on the face. Yes, of course it is visible on the body, but there's so much more that's visible. There's so much more that speaks so loud about you as a person, as a being, as what you're choosing. And it's really interesting to see how by running processes and by using the tools of access, how much your life expands, which starts to show up, and you start to show up so differently. Yeah. Palak, I'd love to know. My aunt Palak, by the way, is our sneezing beauty. She wakes up in the morning at 4:30 and she sneezes till what time do you sneeze, honey? Till?
I don't know. There've been days that
So we have a sleeping beauty and now we have a sneezing beauty. she's a sneezing beauty of access consciousness.
so true. Actually, when Harry was sharing about his allergies and stuff, and I was just thinking that, maybe my body is asking for more body classes, like to attend more of body classes and run more of body processes. Mm, so, yeah, I mean, I have done a couple of body classes, but then there is never enough, I guess. So,
The other day
body
somebody asked me how,
मांगे more.
yeah. Truly, truly, Palak, body classes is attending. I remember in my case when I did my first 3-day body class, and I did it with the wonderful Glenna Rice. She was coming to Bombay, and I know Harry, you were also there, and yeah, and I remember it was in Bombay, and at the airport in Delhi when I was to catch my flight, we got into the bus which was taking us to the flight, and in my bus there was one person who was crippled. There was one person whose arm was fractured. There was a lady who had acid attack. She had her half a face was burnt, and there was this boy who was on a wheelchair. And I looked at the bus and I was like, what am I getting into? Like, and hadn't really been doing too much. I had just barely, it was just barely 4 or 5 months into access. And I was like, what is this? And is there a connection? And I kept telling myself, no, 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 there's no connection. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. And I remember during the class, I asked Glenna about this. And I said, could there be a coincidence, or is it just, me thinking and overthinking? And she asked me such a beautiful question. She said that, what are their bodies wanting you to acknowledge about your body? And I looked at that question. It's really funny because it's coming up now after so many years. I haven't even talked about this, and it's really strange that it comes up now. But I remember now when I look at it and I look at that, the first body class that I attended and what the universe was showing me, what if we can all, what if I can acknowledge and what if you can acknowledge that you have, I have a capacity with bodies. And what can change if we allow ourselves to truly acknowledge that? How much change is possible? How much shift is possible with bodies? Instead of deciding and concluding that, oh, this is just a coincidence, like most of us do. We don't look at it as something that the universe wants us to look at and ask questions around and acknowledge about. So something coming up in your body, you can ask the same question. What does my body want me to acknowledge? Like in Palak's case where she's sneezing so much. Like, what does my body want me to acknowledge? And so beautifully she said, probably it's about attending body classes. But now don't listen to your body. Yeah. So, yeah. So tell me, where does choice come into all of this with bodies? Harry?
For me, it was like having a lot of acidity issues, and I used to eat everything, whatever comes my way. Of course, vegetarian, and I had a lot of points of view regarding non-veg. When I actually reached a point where am I eating veg and non-veg from my own point of view or from my own free choice?
Mm,
And that's where I stopped judging people around having non-vegetarian food. It's their choice of eating whatever they want to desire, what they desire to eat.
mm,
And even if I ate vegetarian food, I used to have a lot of acidic issues and digestive issues. And when I started to question body, what would you like to have?
yeah.
It started to shift and change. How much quantity would you like to have?
Mm,
Funnily, the quantity also varied from time to time. It would be sometimes like two chapatis,
yeah.
sometimes nothing, sometimes it'll go to four to five. It
Yeah.
totally shifts every now and then.
Mm,
And if you ask and eat it, the stomach's so much fine and you have so much peace. Even the body also feels so happy. Eventually, you're also getting a sense that yeah, I'm also happy.
yeah, that.
And that space of being happy and your body being happy was also kind of captured by the other bodies which are around you. They also tap
Mm,
into it. And suddenly those people might also want to look like what just happened.
yeah.
Their bodies know, but they may not be aware of it, like what they are choosing
Yeah.
indirectly.
Yeah. That's so beautiful what you just said, that you're choosing happy, being happy and your body being happy. And you're listening to your body, being this beautiful cumulative effect of happiness. And anyone who comes in contact with you also starts to be happy. And then they wonder, why am I happy? Like,
Yeah.
I had all the reasons to be unhappy. Happy is not normal. Happy is not right. Why can't I hold on to my unhappy? It's, it's almost like you play with their mind, and you like insert this molecule of happiness into their world by you listening to your body. How amazing is that?
So much fun. And sometimes there are people who say, you don't go to gym, you don't do anything, no physical exercise. How do you maintain yourself? I said, I just ask my body what it wants to eat. I just go by that, eat and move.
Yeah,
And if it wants to move, wants to go on a walk for like 5 kilometers, I'll probably just walk. If I don't want to do anything, I'll not do anything.
yeah.
If I just want to go for a massage, I'll just go for a massage.
Mm,
Even that has a lot of good effects on the body. The
yeah.
body knows where it wants to be, where it wants to go, and it just gives you the signal. But we just need to be aware, like, what's it trying to say? Catch it on. Sometimes it's not easy. I don't say it's easy all the time, but just pushing out that barrier of receiving the information what is giving in a cognitive way, it just changes all that.
Mm, that is so beautiful. So what is the, if I can just ask you, what in your universe is choice and what is discipline? Like, what is choice for the body and what is discipline with the body?
I'm just listening to what is trying to communicate. Discipline is like you have to do it no matter what.
Mm, yeah.
But sometimes the body would not like it. And I'll tweak it a bit, but there are at times you need to move your body so that it is happy. You can just say, body, just move a bit more, not a problem.
Mm, mm.
It'll adjust. It's from the point of view of adjustment, not from the point of view of compromise. That you have to like hit your body hard.
Oh, I love what you say, not from the point of view of compromise, but from adjustment, and the body will adjust. You don't have to adjust. Yeah. And that is choice and not discipline.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Thank you for that. And Palak, what,
You're
what
welcome.
in your world, sweetheart, is especially now, especially that you have kids who disciplining them and allowing them to choose with their bodies. I would love to know what is your take on that? Like when you're with your children and they don't want to listen to you, they just want to eat what they want to eat, not from a space of asking their body, but just because I want to eat junk, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. And you trying to be the good mother, do you try to discipline them on eating the right food? Yeah, I think we are, you can say it.
I do. So, I mean, they get to eat what they desire to eat, but there are also caveats attached.
Mm,
Like, yeah, especially. So one of the things that I got with body and body classes is
yeah.
that my choice versus my body's choice are two different choices. So, and I was somebody who would push my body to whatever, like in my work, in my, like, whatever I would want to do, even if my feet are hurting, I would just continue to do. And it'll all result into me being very, very irritated, like by the end of it.
Ah, right.
So started listening more to my body. When it comes to eating, I do ask my kids as to what they choose, what they would desire.
Mm,
And they get to eat their portion of like whatever
yeah.
is called as junk.
Mm,
However, I tell them like, what is kind of required. And at times I do put my foot down, honestly speaking.
mm.
I use my veto powers.
Why not? You're a mom. Eventually, you're the mother.
Yes, I
No,
am the
Palak, yeah.
mother.
And also, Palak, if I can, I see this absolutely beautiful allowance in your world with your kids. I mean, whenever we are talking and whenever we are on calls, and I see this beautiful space that you be with them, where you allow them to show up. Like, a lot of children want to hide their body. A lot of children who don't want to come on camera because they have a judgment on themselves, or else they have a judgment that mom's working and she's on Zoom, I can't show up. So a lot of times, mothers and dads will be like, shh, like, stay away, stay away, stay away. And you're this beautiful energy of, hey, come in, like, you want to come contribute to our Zoom call. And it's just so beautiful. And every time that the kids pop in, I literally sense, I can literally see your body going, and
Yeah.
how much, yeah, and how much
They
does
are a
your
great
body
source of
receive from that?
relaxation, honestly, for me.
Yeah,
Like all I
yeah,
want is a hug from them in the
yeah,
kind of, I
yeah.
remember it was so when my mom was in the hospital, we would come back and all I wanted, like as we would sit and my daughter's like turned 11 now, and she would come and ask, would you have a cup of tea? And
Oh,
she would make a tea for all of us. Like
wow.
imagine 10, 12 of us were there at home at that time. And it was just so like, it's
Nurturing.
very different
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
when your kids start taking care of you in a very different
yeah,
manner. So,
yeah.
or just coming and hugging you. So it was very, it's not like, and I think I've said this, like where I will be scolding my daughter, you're getting late, you will miss the bus. She would be at her own pace. She would go outside the door and she will shout for there, bye, mama, love you, mama. I'm like fuming, I'm shouting. She doesn't budge, like, bye, mama, love you, mama.
Yeah. They access kids, right? They know mom's going to do what she's going to do. I know what I'm choosing.
Yeah, so it's like, and I honestly get that there's so much to learn from them.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So I do get like, I think I do get facilitated a lot by my kids. And
Yeah.
I remember an incident when my daughter was not well and we'd gone to the doctor. And as we came out of the clinic, I
Hmm.
asked her, what would you want to eat? And her first reaction was Maggie.
Hmm. Of
I was
course.
like, should I call up the doctor? And she said, I think you should call up RD uncle.
That.
Okay, let's eat Maggie.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, just look at how much kids, I mean, how expansive it is for children to know that they have choice. And there's someone who finally gets it. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Truly. Wow. So, Harry, would you like to share any would you like to share any tools or any questions for everyone who's watching us here as to um, what can they do, what can they say, what can they be to to brush up, to exercise the muscle of choice with their bodies?
So it's like go to a restaurant, or I'll say go to a coffee shop, stand in in front of the um, refrigerator where they're keeping the glass refrigerator where they keep all the um, patisserie products, and just stand. What would you like to have? And if it says nothing, just walk out. Doesn't matter. If it wants to have some chocolate pastry, go ahead, buy it, eat it. Also, before eating, you can just ask it, how much of it would you like to have? Half
Mm,
of it, two spoons of it, full of it. Just practice with that thing. Is if you can get it immediately, good. If it doesn't, no problem. Take some time. I also took time to get exercising with that thing and building a muscle over that. How much I want to eat, what do I want to eat. I'll just flip over the menu in the restaurant and I said, what? Just go there, order that. And exactly that would help me like keep my body happy. Hunger is gone. And if I want to sleep at night, I'll sleep peacefully instead of running around Daichi, Jelusil, Gaviscon, and sleep peacefully for my own 6 to 8 hours.
yeah.
So it's like stand in front of the refrigerator, ask what would it like to have. If it says nothing, just walk out. You'll
So
get a sense
does
of
it,
it.
does your
Don't go with
body
the
actually,
projection.
so does your body actually speak and say nothing?
It doesn't. You just get a sense of it. Like
How do we get the sense?
in my perspective, I just get a like a jerk. No, if it just
Wow.
gets pulled towards something, then I just go forward for it.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. It's interesting how everybody's body speaks, communicates so differently. Like yours jerks and goes forward and says yes, and goes backward to say no. Mine, my body just lights up. It's like that light bulb just goes switch on. Literally, my body says yes, and it's literally a switch off when it doesn't want to eat something. And that's my body communicating with me if it's hungry or not, or if it wants to eat something or not. And Palak, how do you get the information from your body?
I
And I do get I do get it also changes constantly, but which is the one thing that really pops in for you?
so I like okay, so let me tell you about my kids, for example. So one of the things that with After Access, and because I run an NGO, and with all everything around hunger management, food wastage, blah blah blah, I was like literally borderline activist, or I'm underplaying it. And I could see the same traits in my daughter too. And so after the body class, I also started, and she also started. If her stomach is full, I would not go into the wrongness of wasting food. I would, but insist that don't put it in your plate.
Mm,
Let's not put it in the garbage. With my son, I don't get right now, because he's always so occupied with one activity to the other, that at times asking him doesn't work for me. So I practically connect with his body, and I tell his body, guide me, whether I should feed or I should let him go.
wow.
Because for him, he is like, and he has these superpowers of arguments, which I feel. So I think a couple of years more before, but he's very clear, things like he would say, give me guava for snack. And I said, but last time you had guava, it did not work for you. Yeah, because it was squishy guava. I like crunchy guava. And I was like, wow, 5-year-old has now so
Ah,
much clarity.
that's amazing. Instead of just saying guava doesn't work for me,
Yeah.
what we
No,
generally
but
do.
that guava
Yeah.
was squishy. I don't
Ah,
squishy guava doesn't work for me. I want
amazing.
crunchy guava.
Amazing. Yeah. Wow. And that's choice, right?
So yeah. And one of the things that as a family, probably because one would go out and one wants this, one wants that. So I invariably ask them, what do you guys want to eat? And then I tell universe, please guide us to the restaurant where everybody gets what they desire to eat.
Ah, lovely. Yeah. So you're actually employing your body to create your life with you in that moment,
And,
right?
and at times we have left home to go to a certain place. And then for whatever reason, we would take a U-turn and go somewhere else.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like, universe and your body has their own way of taking you where you, what
Hmm.
they desire rather than like forcing yourself or giving up on you and eating what somebody else wants or
Hmm. Yeah.
making other person compromise on what they desire.
Yeah.
It's like adding joy to the body.
Yes.
Yeah. That energy of adding joy to the body. And when you add joy to the body, and then there's your generally comes from when you listen to your body, right? And so so what are the few things that you have noticed with the access body classes that you have done 3 day? I know you both have done so many 3 day body classes. So what have you noticed or not noticed, or what have you, like, what have people told you after a 3 day body class? What have you noticed when you run body processes on people? What have you noticed in you and your body when you receive them?
To me,
I know
like
lots of
most of the
questions at
people
one
who
lot.
have who are not in access, they'll just randomly come up and say, "You've done something. You got your facial done." I said, "I didn't do anything." No, you look different.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what changed. There's something that shifted in the body
Yeah.
that is not resonating with them there, and they're trying to conclude it to a point.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you look different. It's the most common thing, right? What did you do? Did you go for a
Yeah.
facial? Did you get your hair cut? Did you go for a blow dry? No, no, no. Body is just different. Yeah, it's really interesting. The other day, someone was asking me, "Have you lost weight?" And I started laughing because my clothes are way tighter than they were 6 months back. So I was like, "Well, my weighing scale says I've put on, and so do my clothes." They were like, "No, no way, not possible. You're looking so much slimmer." So I looked at them and I was like, "Okay, what if I just allow that in? Like, what if my body's showing up differently from what needs to be justified by my clothes or by the weighing scale? What does your body want to look like?
Yeah.
What if you
And
allow that?
sometimes you just get sorry.
Now, go ahead, please.
It's like sometimes you just get to know their judgments about their bodies, and suddenly they speak up when their body looks at you and just like, I want to do that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So it's so with changes in the bodies, like, of course, looks wise, it's different after 3 day body classes. You talked about your the allergies, you talked about the balls on your face shifting and changing. And Palak talked about stuff in her world, in her body. I know my body shifted so much when I attended my first 3 day body class. I was actually so unwell day one. I thought I would need to be hospitalized because the pain in my body that I had, which was fibromyalgia, actually got really accelerated, and it went up to a level of where I had never experienced something like that before. And I was like, I think I need to be hospitalized. Someone take me to the hospital. And I remember one girl coming to me and telling me, go get your facelift on another body process run. And I was like, are you crazy? I'm already dying here. And because I had no choice, literally, I thought I had no choice. I don't know what to do. I asked for a facelift from a friend, and getting that facelift from her, and I remember paying her for it. I said, hey, can I can I please pay you for a session for a facelift? Although I know we're in a class. And I paid her for that session, and she ran this, facelift on me, which is absolutely so beautiful. And at the end of the session, the pain that I had for 19 years was no more. It was gone. So it is literally like everything that was in my body, that was sunk into my body, dug into every molecule of my body, came to the surface and literally released itself. So yeah, just wanted to share that with everybody. And
Doesn't get any better. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, truly.
and so while body class is about body, but I've seen so many other things shifting
Mm,
in the body class, after the body class, be it relationship, be it money.
yeah.
It's like so one of the things that one also gets in access and all the access classes, but like in body classes, that you have to stop making it as an equation.
Yeah.
like like what is underneath it may be something very different. Like maybe your pain for fibromyalgia would be in some other body part, but then the body process that you get is access facelift.
Yeah. Or maybe invocation, something to do with the ears or your eyes.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it would just shift.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how does it get any better?
Truly. And it's so interesting how people come up and they say, like, my relationships suddenly became better. And the views that I had in my world suddenly dissipated out of my life. Or my money flows have changed and my business is so much better. But where's the connection between a body class and business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have a body class now coming in Delhi, right?
Yes, we do.
31st, 1st and 2nd,
30th of
30,
September.
30th September, 1st and 2nd of October. So it's a long weekend. And how does it get any better?
Truly. How
Well,
much fun can we have? Truly. And everybody here is invited. If you have not done your foundation as yet, which is a prereq, go grab a facilitator. There's Harry here who facilitates. He's a CF. There's Palak here who facilitates. Grab one of them, or you can grab me and just grab us for the classes. Okay, nothing else. And we are happy to facilitate the foundation, which will be followed by the 3-day body class. So you're all welcome. And yeah, I mean, what if now is truly the time to choose something different for your body? And what if now you could actually change the story that you've been creating with your bodies, with your life, your living? And what if you can actually create the future that you really wanted to create all along? So you're all welcome, sweethearts. And yeah,
Thank you. And I just realized that how much ease I'm still perceiving while we're talking. I haven't touched you. I haven't sneezed even once. This is the longest time.
would please, would don't let it change. Would please, you're the source.
What did you change right now that you're not acknowledged?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like through the day, this has been the longest period I haven't sneezed.
Yeah.
I think I should be on call with you.
Up
Chandana.
until now, right? Up until now. What if your body is just asking for an acknowledgement more than anything else?
Yeah.
What can that change?
So we will see you in Delhi. Harry is, of course, in Delhi. So we shall catch him during the body class.
Yes.
And everybody else who's wanting to join can reach out to me, reach out to Channa, and we will have you onboarded.
Awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Harry, for taking out your time and being here and actually sharing all those wonderful gems that you did for everyone to just know more about you, about your journey, about the 3-day body class. And Palak, my dear, thank you from every pore of my body.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.